ladies and
Welcome.
gentlemen, Forrest Blakk, welcome to 106.7 The Crew.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
We're gonna get into If You Love Her and the Can't Stop, Won't Stop hit that it just keeps becoming. But
Thank you,
I
world.
just saw on your Instagram, did you actually get to perform in front of people? Is this happening? Are we doing shows again?
I did.
How was that?
I played. Here's the thing. I played for like 12 people, and it felt like I was playing a stadium.
You were like,
like I felt like there was like 80,000 people, and I was Drew Brees. That's what I felt.
That's amazing. When was the last time? Can you even remember? Like a show
2.5
previous
years
to this?
or 2 years and 2 months or something like that.
Wow. No
it's
wonder.
Crazy, man.
Well, congratulations. So this is like the beginning of some trips, hopefully?
I hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's just like, because I heard New Orleans is like the gold standard for getting vaccinated. Like New Orleans is like, I just want to get back to doing this, like real life.
I got my second one last week. We're ready to go. We're ready for you.
See, I got my second one, and so I did this like really small, private, exclusive concert. And again, it was the most incredible things. I've been doing live streams so the whole quarantine.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I have loved it. I feel so grateful that we have this technology, but man, do I miss people.
Oh yeah, it's a completely different vibe. I can't imagine like just being a fan it's different, but for an artist too. I mean, you feed off that energy.
Oh my God. Even it's not even that, just like even coming to visit you guys.
Yeah.
Like you forget, like there's a plane, a train, an automobile. There's like, you're looking out the windows and you're seeing life kind of do some cool stuff, and you get to encounter people. So like I've done some cool stuff, and I've played some really big venues and played in front of 10,000 people, and it's great.
Yeah.
But I've always taken away is the person you meet who's the waiter or the waitress at the restaurant you stop in before you get to the show, and you get to meet them.
Yeah.
And you get to talk to them, and they have 4 kids, and they work at a car dealership, and they also work at this restaurant. They're trying to make extra tips, and they're putting their kid in college.
Yeah.
Those people like become cemented in my heart and in my brain, and then become part of stories that I tell. And
yeah,
I really have missed that.
Yeah, and people need that. And I think one of my favorite quotes I read of yours, if this is true, you never can trust the internet. It said, what you said about your songs is, I want them to sit inside my songs and know they're not alone. Yeah. And I feel like that is the human condition. Like you nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I think with all the music that I've ever put out, I just want to feel like there's someone else on the other end of it. And it's a testament to this song that keeps doing what it's doing. It's been crazy because that's something I was really feeling and something I was going through, and I was able to honor a situation and a person and write it down and then share it. But the coolest thing has been having it come back. And
I was gonna say, how long ago did you write this song? Because I mean, I said can't stop, won't stop. It won't stop.
Thank goodness, man.
Right? That's amazing.
I'm stoked. I think it's the coolest thing in the world. I wrote it in November rather, right before the pandemic hit.
Wow.
And you never know what a song is going to do. I've put out lots of songs, and I've been doing this for a minute, and people can go check out a whole bunch of stuff. I have like 2 EPs out, a bunch of spoken words, and a bunch of I love making art. But you never know when you put something out if it's going to connect. You just do the best you can. At least me.
Yeah.
Take all these. I'm just a big emotional dude covered in tattoos, and I'm just like, I'm like, here, I feel so much stuff, and here's my stuff. But it's crazy to see that this song is doing what it's doing.
Now, Meghan Trainor, I would not have done that pairing, but it was kind of like back in the day when they were like, here, have this Frosty with this French fry. You're like, that's not going to be right. But then you're like, that is right, and I need it.
Really good reference. Now I want a Frosty and French fry.
But that was it. Like, how did that even connect?
Well, this is the craziness. I was sitting here. It was an afternoon, like 3 o'clock, and then my Instagram goes off, and I man all my socials. So I'm like, I always like try and talk to everyone, and it's been crazy since putting If You Love Her out just by itself.
Yeah. So
I've been like going through all the messages and trying to keep up with everybody, and then I see Meghan Trainor pop up. And so like on the back end of Instagram, it puts kind of everyone in certain blocks, and then I see the little verified, and I'm like, wait a second. Is that all about the base Meghan Trainor, or is this like fake account?
Right, fake
So
account
like
name.
I run out of the room to my girlfriend, like, is this really Meghan Trainor? And she's like, yeah, it's Meghan Trainor. I'm like, okay, because the first sentence is, yo, I'm your biggest fan. And I'm like, oh
Stop.
God, what is happening? And she's like,
That's
I love
amazing.
your song. It's amazing. Here's my number. Text me. Already wrote and recorded it. I was like,
What?
what are you, okay, I'm still trying to get over the fact that like you just messaged me.
That is
And
amazing.
then, you know, true to her word, I sent her a text and she sent me a version of the song with her on it. I was like, yeah, that's gotta happen.
Sold. And even that video, the one for which just the flowers, I mean, that is like some ASMR. Like,
Right?
yes.
It's so good, man. Everything that's like come together for this. It's just been one of those special moments. Even like we put out a music video,
Yeah.
and this was filmed by my friend in Ireland. And so we wrote this internationally. So between him and I, you know, I'm in LA and he's in Ireland, and then
Yeah.
he had to like go through so much stuff to try and be able to film this. And there was all these conditions because COVID. So
Right.
even getting that filmed, and then you put that out into the world, and the thing is, a song can do well, but you never know if the video is going to do well. And the video is doing really well. People are, it's just amazing, man.
I know. I mean, I literally have a list of what this song is doing. And you, I mean, you're featured in People magazine. You've gone gold. You're hit to top 5 on iTunes. You've traveled around the world, top 10 Spotify Australia. I mean, are you just, wow.
Yeah. I mean, when you say it like that, it's pretty intense.
Sorry. I mean, that's just some of it. So it's like, that's why call this song Can't Stop, Won't Stop, because it's just after. And I think what I'm going to do with this song too is next time I think about getting in a serious relationship, I'm going to be like, look, listen to this song. If you agree, you can sign right here.
Sign the dotted line.
I'm going to need you to initial by Bad Trash TV, because that's, you're watching all the housewives. But I mean, it's real.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you know, when I wrote it, it came from a real place of like, you know, I was trying to be the dude that was, you know, pay for a big wedding and try and buy us a house. And it wasn't like, you know, I'm not a fancy dude. I don't need lots of fancy stuff, but you forget that like, sometimes it's a picnic and a day trip. It's not a big vacation. Sometimes it's a hug and a kiss and not like a diamond ring.
Yeah.
You know, and I think most people feel like that. And that's not just a man-woman thing. That's a people thing.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think my man brain was working and I got it wrong. And I wasn't kind of figuring that out. And that sucks. You know, you don't want to be, you know, nobody ever gets in a relationship going, I want it to fall apart. You go in going, I want to make it work, you know?
Right.
And so to me, it was like being able to honor whoever dated her next. It was
Has
like,
she
hey,
called you and is trying to look for royalties on this song now?
no, it's not like that.
No, that's good. That's good.
I don't even like, you know, I imagine that she would know, but to me, the thing is, I've taken that song myself, and I have this incredible relationship with this amazing human being. Her name's Tiffany. I love her, and I try to use that as my roadmap with her.
Right.
You know, and so it's serving me as much as it serves anybody else. It's like, hey man, don't forget the little things. That's what counts. Like,
and I think that's why the song hits on different levels too, because at first you're like, oh God, yeah, that happened, now I'm sad, but then it's also hopeful, like, yeah, that's what I want.
yeah, well, that's the cool thing about putting the song out. I've had people reach out and being like, you know, my dad says that of me, or I've had people being like, my man is like that, or my woman's like that, or, you know, people are just like, they're just connecting to it on all different angles. And then there are the sad stories of like, my father passed away and this would have been something he would have told my guy or my partner.
Well, and I think you being so vulnerable, I mean, your freaking heart chakra opened up on this song. I don't know if you knew that when you were writing it and you were recording it.
I was broken. I was just like piecing all the pieces of me back together in it, you know?
I mean, look what it's done. I mean, from the darkest time, it is always darkest before the light, right? I mean, and now what the song is doing. So,
I mean, true story, man. I mean, like, dude, I wrote that song while I was living out of the back of my car in LA. You know, I just didn't know like what was going to happen. And that's kind of this cool part of life. It's these ebbs and flows. Like, you know, I sign a record deal, things are going well, I tour, making cool stuff happen, and then you bottom out, and it's like you just got to keep hanging in there, keep hanging on, and the sun's gonna rise tomorrow, and you just got to rise with it. And
these are my favorite kind of people like you, where it's like you've been through it, and you're not afraid to say that you have been through it. Like, we did not grow up like the Kardashians, no disrespect to them, but
yeah, but even then they've been through it. You know, that's the thing,
right,
everyone's got a relative version. I don't know what
yeah,
it's like to be the most famous person on the planet having to deal
right.
with that. I
Oh
know
God,
it's
no.
hard. It's hard hanging out in this room, keeping up with everything, let alone what they got to keep up with. So,
Right. Now
you
take
know what
us
I mean?
back, because I know you're originally from Canada. Wasn't the greatest childhood. How did you find music in a place like that?
Well, I think music found me. You know,
Yeah.
I think people can go and you can read all about what I went through, but you know, my nana took me in off the streets. I was bouncing around. I was in a rough place. My dad was in jail. My mom was, you know, just my mom was falling apart as is expected of like a young mom with 3 kids and a husband in jail.
I can
And
imagine.
she couldn't take care of us properly, and I ended up on the streets. And my nana took me in, and she gave me a guitar as a present. And I didn't know at the time that that would be anything. And frankly, I was afraid of it, you know, because I played
Yeah.
it and I remember feeling something about it.
Yeah.
You know, I remember just picking up the guitars, like it's like this. I literally picked up a guitar and I don't even know what I played. I probably just went like, and it was probably completely out of tune. But I remember that I felt something so deep in my soul that it scared me, and I put it down. And I
Wow.
was like, that really confronted me.
Yeah.
And you know, without going down the whole hocus pocus stuff, it just, I put it down. I would dabble in music here and there, but I started taking it seriously years later when I went through like my first real heartbreak. The guitar was there and my voice wanted to talk. And then that was when people heard me for the first time, really, and were like, hey, you should maybe like think about this, you know.
There's
And
something here.
yeah, and then I started this crazy journey and had no clue what it would be like. And you have to go through that whole world. I mean, you gotta have like a chip on your shoulder, a bit of an ego, and figure it out. Then you gotta lose that ego and then write out. You just gotta go through stuff,
Yes. Yes. You got
you
to
know.
ride this roller coaster they call life.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm not trying to be too philosophical, but the idea is that like life is happening, and you know, I'm just trying to take snapshots of it and write out what I'm going through and what I feel. And then, you know, I think it's been really cool watching people use my sounds and my feelings as the soundtracks of their moments and their memories. And I think that's
Yeah. And
beautiful.
I mean, I think especially during this last year, it was kind of a wake up call for everybody. And, we all just want to be connected. We all been through it. Like
Yeah.
you, me, Kim and Kylie, everybody. Like, we all need this connection of like, yes, that my heart broke and it fell out my butt. Like, this is that
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. And then I found love. That's the
That's
kind of the whole thing.
amazing.
Like, you know, like, man, it sucked. It was really rough to go through it. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, a song was born out of it and a lot of connections were born from it. And I feel like that's honoring the relationship best it can.
And you're
And
amazing on your social media. I mean, is that your real phone number that you gave to people?
yeah, people text me every single day. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's been really cool, but it comes with different consequences. And I mean that in the best way, like a consequence with the positive connotation, you know, but there's a heaviness in it because you'll get all these beautiful stories of how, you know, what I do or, you know, my art is connected to people. But then just recently, the other day, maybe about 2 months ago, a young girl by the name of Rachel reached out to me and she asked if she could use one of my songs called Where I First Found You. And she's like, can I do an interpretive dance? And I've been really fortunate. Like I even do like these spoken words, and then people all around the world have been dancing to them and putting them out, and it's been connecting. It's
Cool.
been super rad. But she reached out, she picked a song in particular, Where I First Found You, and she goes, I'd like to dance to this. I said, okay, what's the song about? And yeah, I'm a bit of a weirdo, so like I'll Zoom with fans and, you know,
Yeah,
talk with them, and like I just, my fans are like my family, you know.
I love that.
And so we chatted, and she got to know what the song was about. And you know, I sent her a voice note kind of detailing everything. And but here's, you know, this is where it takes a bit of a sad turn. Is I'd wondered what would happen with the video and if it'd come out. And then her mom messaged me just 2 days ago saying that her daughter tragically passed away.
Oh my God.
And the last thing she did was she did this video. She performed it at her college. I think
Oh my
just
God.
a
That's
little
chills.
bit before, whether it was a couple of days. And it's this connection with people that's real, you know. And that's been the other side of it, and this beautiful connection to
Right.
people, you know. And then you get to honor their stories, and it's just it's an interesting thing doing this. And I think there's a massive community of people. Fans are not like this singular unit. They're really like the fabric of what makes this work. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that, you know, I put my number out and we build a community, and the whole community can be there for these people whenever good and sad things happen.
Yeah. Where are you at? I know you've lived from Canada, Jamaica, Florida. Were you in Europe for a while? You're in LA now?
Yeah, I was in Germany for a few years, and then now I'm in LA.
In
So
LA.
I've bounced around. I feel like an international kid, you know?
That passport's got some stamps, huh?
Yeah.
Have you been to New Orleans?
No, okay. So here's the thing. My girlfriend lived in New Orleans for years.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter, like something pops up on TV, she's like, wait a second, I know where that is. Oh, I know who that person is. Oh, I know who that actor is. I'm like, what do you mean? And so like
That's so New
she is like, she loves that city through and through. And so when she found out that I was doing an interview out of there, she was like, oh my God. She was super pumped. But
Well,
she's
tell her
been
we
telling
said
me the whole
hi.
time, she's like, we have to go there. I have to show you this. I have to show, because she's one of those people that knows all the people. So like she'll see an Instagram post of somebody who took a picture of somebody who looks quite eccentric or eclectic.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's this so-and-so person. And they're like 80 years old. And this is like, they ride this bicycle and they just yell out nice things to people. And I'm like,
Yes.
this is,
Dude, it's true. And they've even did like a study at Tulane, the university here, that, you know, in the world, there's that whole 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing. Like we're all separated by 6 degrees.
yeah.
In New Orleans, it's 1.5% degrees. So your
Wow.
girlfriend and I probably know each other from
100. What I will tell you this 100%. Because like, so here's an example. Like, do you know Diva Mahal?
Who?
Diva Mahal.
No.
Okay, it's Taj Mahal's daughter. But anyway, like I became friends with her she's out of New Orleans, and now she's in like New Zealand, and like
No way.
it's just New Orleans. It's just
you got to come
it's a
down.
thing.
I mean, shoot, they're opening back up slowly here. I mean, like they're doing like porch concerts and stuff, and like
amazing. Well, my girlfriend's like, you need to go to the Rusty Nail. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to the Rusty Nail.
I could see you playing. Tell her I could see you playing at the Maple Leaf. I could see you playing at One Eye Jack's, Le Bon Ton, the private room upstairs at House of Blues. I used to work there. I know somebody, so.
I'm gonna connect you with my agent after this.
Right. I got a guy on the phone. But yeah, you got it. You would love it, especially you've been all over the world. Like this is.
Well, I feel like New Orleans has like it kind of brings all my favorite places together. And I'm from Montreal, so I'm from French Canada. Right. So there's a lot of relation. And then like I grew up traveling through the Caribbean, and so I think there's this beautiful mixture and blend of
really
like French tradition, you know, Caribbean flavors, and you put that all together. And I think New Orleans, and it's got like a hint of New York City in there.
It's got everything. It got a little Europe. Yes, everything. It's just a nice. Y'all just pack up though, because you might be here for a while. You finally come down.
And that's what she says.
Yes.
She's like, you're not gonna leave.
Can you remember your first time that you performed in front of an audience?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You were in a talent show.
Well, I was I was when I was a kid when I went to high school, and I first tried playing music, and I was awful. And there was these kids in the back of this hallway in this like kind of music room, and there were these twin brothers, and they were all jamming and stuff like that. And I was like, I just got this guitar, and I was, like I said, I put it down. I was dabbling.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you guys are in a band. That's cool. And I was like, do you guys need a guitar player? And they didn't. They had 2 guitar players, but they're like, you play guitar? And like, it's like trying to invite a cool kid. And I was like, yeah, I play guitar. So I got my guitar, I brought it back. I plugged it in. It wasn't tuned. I didn't know how to play it all. and I think I strummed a chord, and they're like, yeah, we don't need a guitar player. Thank you very much. That was fun. Sayonara. Yeah. And so I was like, damn, that didn't work out. But I'm such a hustler from where I'm from. So I'm just like, I looked around, I was like, I didn't see anybody singing. I was like, you need a singer? And they're like, well, you sing? I was like, yeah, I sing.
That's amazing.
And so I ran back home, but the thing is, I was writing poems and poetry. Yeah. So I ran back to my Nana's house, and I grabbed this poem that I'd written, and I brought it back, and I just sang the poem. Didn't know what I was doing, didn't know what melodies I was singing. They're like, you got the job, because none of them could do it.
Stop. And that's amazing.
Yeah. And so I played this talent show, and the best part is that, so the big music teacher, he's like, Forrest, you sing. I was like, okay. He's like, I want you to sing the Rob Thomas, Carlos Santana song.
No
And I was
way.
like, cool.
Right.
And I couldn't remember a single lyric. And I went up there and I tried and I bombed. I bombed so bad.
Were you just
And the
like
reason,
freestyling, or what are you singing?
oh no, I don't, I think I froze. I choked for sure. And my favorite part is I like recently got to meet Rob and work. I wrote a song with Rob Thomas and I
No
was
way.
like, yo, yeah. And it's like, there's all these like little degrees of separation that have like slowly closed in on me. Like, so the guy who signed me in New York at Atlantic, he's like worked on that record and worked with like, I think this is amazing. And I'm like, of course it's
The
this
universe
song.
is so funny, man. It will be like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let me bring that back around in this way.
Yeah. And I'm like so afraid to do covers because of that one thing. Like, it traumatized me. People are like, do you want to do covers? And I was like, no. Like, I'll give you $100,000 to do a cover. I'm like, I'm just busy that day. Sorry.
Well, now you're well known enough. That you could, if you did just mess up and you just start humming, they'd be like, oh my God, he's such an artist. Like, you could get away with it.
I don't know, man. Social media is pretty intense. I feel like that would become like a TikTok thing, and then I'd be a meme, and like, I don't think you can get away with anything these days.
Keep the song alive for us. That's how we do it. Where does that, is that true too, that your name came after you read Siddhartha?
Partly, yeah. You know,
Partly.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like the name that was given to me at birth was given to me by people who I didn't feel like should have given me my name. And I feel like I had to live into that my whole life, and it hurt, you know? And
yeah,
from what I grew up in, I was like, it's never who I've been and never who I wanted to be. And I'd read Siddhartha and I traveled all across Europe, and I think I was just looking for a place to call my own and a name that really was me. And I feel like this is it's been my name my whole life, and I've been living looking for it, I suppose.
I love that.
You know? So my Nana calls me Forrest, and I'm Forrest, you know, and that's all that matters, really.
That's awesome. You've traveled so much. What is the place now that things are opening back up where you want to go back?
Wow. I mean, I talk to my girlfriend all the time. I'm like, as soon as we can grab a flight to Jamaica, I want her to see that world through my eyes. Cause I spent a lot of time there as a kid. Some of my best friends are there. I have a lot of formative memories from that place, you know.
Oh, nice.
My first kiss was with a Jamaican girl. First thing I ever hustled to somebody was a tourist. It was Starfish. So like,
that's awesome. I love that. Well, you gotta come. You can go to the islands, but then you guys gotta.
I know the real answer is I need to come to see you guys, and that's the
okay.
truth.
We'll be second on the list.
That's her first on the list.
What's her name? Tiffany.
Tiffany.
I'm gonna look her up on Instagram because I'm gonna see what mutual friends we have.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for just you follow her and text her and be like, hey, we know these people.
I already know it. I can't wait to see who it actually is. Well, if you haven't heard the song, the many versions of it, if you love her, he is on social media, and that is you. Nobody else is running that.
Yeah, that's
no
all me. To my maybe my detriment, or no, I love it. It is all me manning every station. It's I love it.
I mean, people are requesting the song. They love it. And it's hitting on all levels for people too. So just congratulations. Yeah. You just seem like the nicest guy, and you've been through it, and you're just relatable. I love it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to coming out and meeting you guys and hanging out in real life. And looking forward to these like torrential downpours that my girlfriend says happen for like 10 minutes and then the life goes back to normal.
Yeah, don't come in August or September. Come in October.
October, okay.
Yes, we'll make it work. Well, Forrest Blakk, thank you so much. Success on success coming your way, and you're gonna be can't stop, won't stop, just like the song. I know it. So
I'm in.
I appreciate you chatting with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it with you. Thank you.